Hello and welcome back to Sonic Adventure. Jumping right back into the action once again in this episode, you'll notice that, yeah, you might, you are definitely not misreading the title here. This is already part two of two now for Gamma. Once you get past all that story, that we had in the, in the previous video, the rest of the stages go by really quickly. So we're just gonna hop on, pick up the Wind Key, and be on our way. To our third stage with Gamma. As he said himself, we shall pick up and put down. So these stages, in every single one, we'll be fighting a boss at the end. So make sure you're locked and loaded, and we'll be on our way. These giant centipede enemies are perfect for racking up extra time. Not that you really need it for like the earlier ranks, like for example C and B rank, because the stage isn't too hard. Nice little invincibility there to speed things up a little bit. Something else I didn't mention before was that by using the lock on your gun there. It is only finite, so you can only hold and lock onto something for a couple of seconds before the marker goes away. Those blue enemies on the bridge there will actually when you attack and destroy them, they'll take the bridge with them. So very annoying indeed. So try to avoid that. So like just be careful of where you shoot. These bosses are this one in particular is kind of like about as laughably easy as Beta is. You can just mash the attack button over and over again, and he'll go down. And if you no, what's funny is that just like with regular badniks, they'll drop an animal. So if you
E-103 Delta rescue.
so if you want to stand right next to them as they're detonating, you can pick up that animal and take it to the Chow Garden if you so desire. So yeah, one down already, and we have two more to go. We'll be making very good good pace progress, whatever you want to call it here. And then these type of stages, they're most commonly referred to as the shooting stages, because you run around and shoot stuff. These do return in the sequel, which I know for some people is very joyous, I guess you could say. So yeah, we're just gonna do what that short scene tells us to, and head up the mountain one last time.
Mode change.
Kind of like that sound effect that plays whenever you go into drive mode. And then you can exit out of drive mode at any time by jumping. Anyway, so just shoot that cage there, and you'll gain access to Red Mountain. Yeah. So unlike our previous visits with Sonic and Knuckles, this time we're going straight inside the volcano. This one's a bit more challenging than the previous stage, but as long as you're quick on the draw and know the best angles of approach when handling these enemies and racking up extra time, you can also go into drive mode, and I think you can kind of ride it up sideways like so here. But anyway, yeah, as long as you keep those things in mind, you shouldn't have too much trouble with this stage. Those boulders there can be a little annoying. You have to hit since you have to hit all the markers there to make it go down, kind of like dynamite. And unfortunately, unlike regular enemies, attacking them does not increase time. So just be wary of that. And if you need to take your time when clearing a path for yourself, then by all means you're more welcome to do that. And I believe this is the checkpoint before the boss at the end, so make sure you're mentally and physically prepared, or whatever you need to get yourself ready. The bosses do have particularly Delta and Epsilon do have a couple different attacks. They'll shoot missiles around similar to what Beta can do. As evidenced by the launchers on top of their gauntlets there. But like I said, these two are laughably easy. So just mash the attack button and you'll be all set. It's a good thing we had that shield on, or else that would have really hurt. Not that it would have hurt us anyway, but still.
E-104 Epsilon. Rescue complete. E-103 Delta, E-104 Epsilon. Rescue mission accomplished. E-105 Zeta, E-101 Beta. Location unknown. Perhaps aboard the egg carrier.
Okay, this part of the game really drove me nuts as a kid. Like I remember because I clearly heard what he was saying about going back to the egg carrier, but of course I didn't know I didn't know at the time that you could take the little path downwards to that raft. And I'm not really sure. I'm not too sure how I ended up discovering that for myself, whether it was by accident or if I interacted with the boat in Station Square. But
the train headed for Station Square will be departing soon.
But either way, we know now, and I can use that knowledge to better my game, as they say.
E-Series data. Beginning search. Accessing data. Hot shelter. E-Series location confirmed. Unlocking hot shelter sector now.
Well, we have our orders, so let's go hear them out. Some slopes you can't go up at all during drive mode, so you can just jump and hover. Now, before we go inside the hot shelter, we can actually go inside this other room that wasn't completely available to us before. If you tried entering before, it would just be filled with water and you couldn't do anything about it. But now we can, and we can pick up this nice little doodad.
Here's your laser blaster. Its blast damages enemies in a wide pattern.
So this weapon can be very handy for racking up that combo for extra time. What I think what it does is actually it increases the blast radius of your shots. And now we get into Gamma's fifth and final stage, which is the hot shelter. And honestly, I think this stage is pretty difficult. Just speaking from personal experience, because the way onto the boss is pretty brutal. It can really throw you through a loop. There are plenty of ways to take damage and whatnot. Those robots are a joke now, since you don't have to worry about getting caught by its visor, the trap thing that you may or may not remember from when we were playing as either Sonic or Amy. But still, you need to watch yourself as you descend down this path of madness, as it were. Unfortunate for us, Gamma probably has a really slow climb speed for ladders, but that doesn't matter all too much since we can just jump cut those with springs and other methods. And here we are on the Gap of Doom once again, but now this time we have the jet booster, so we can make our way across much easier with Gamma than it was with Amy. So just jump the button, move the platform over, and then we can advance. Well, a little bit of lag there, surprising. Alright, so we're definitely getting some really good mileage out of that magnet shield that we picked up a while ago. This level's pretty long too, so if you're not paying attention, you can run out of time pretty easily. So we're just going to advance up that path there. You can also tell when the little cursor marker is supposed to when it's about to fade away, as it's fading color, when it changes from red to yellow to blue, I believe. I have a little difficulty with this button here, but the trick to that is not jumping on that, because the claw will just move too quickly. So what you do is shoot the button, if that makes any sense, and it'll carry you over to this train. This is where things get a little more hectic, as it were. There is a checkpoint there to help us out, as well as that shield. Try not to fall off if you can help it, because depending on where you land, it can count as losing a life. Or I think in this recording, I actually just go into hover mode. So either way, don't take too many chances, is what I'm trying to say. Just take your time, and you should be okay. Even though there isn't really a whole lot of time to spare, as it were, since you only get 3 minutes. The two cars will be moving back and forth quite a bit, so stay on your toes. Yeah, see that time I went to hover, but there we go. Once you find yourself back on stable ground, you can hop on over to the other side, and this one here has the is the emergency brakes. Yeah, so that's probably the hardest. That's probably the hardest part of the level right there. But once you make your final descent here, you can pick up some rings, maybe another shield or an extra life, as it were. Definitely try to rack up a big combo off these monkeys before you go up, because we're pretty much right next to the boss. And this one behaves a little bit differently from the others, but it's still pretty easy. Just make a round trip around him and attack the cannons. Of course, you'll have missiles and projectiles coming at you in every which way. So just be careful with that. Take them down if you have to, and you should be just fine. I don't know how anyone's supposed to pick up that animal there, but...
E-105 Zeta. Rescue complete.
Now, with all those stages done, there's nowhere to go but up. choose to either take the platform if you so desire, or if you don't feel like sticking your leg up in a weird fashion, then you can take the monorail.
E-105 Zeta rescue complete. Units remaining. Gamma. Beta.
So who's ready for another round of Follow That Robot, soon to be Destroy That Robot? So this is E101 Mark II. This boss is definitely a big, well, obviously a big improvement over the previous one, since his attack patterns are drastically different from what we dealt with before. Attacking him from this angle is useless, since he'll just deflect all of your shots effortlessly. So all you can do is wait for him to charge at you and then attack from behind. And all throughout he'll be deploying those little missiles there that follow you around, and he'll also disappear out to the foreground to throw out those little I guess they're like nuclear blasts or something. I'm not too sure, but either way, he'll be floating around like a jerk throughout this fight. Just avoid the missiles if you can. I think you can outrun them, and then they'll detonate on their own. But hey, at least he gets some pretty cool some pretty cool music to play this battle by. That last shot is does have a much larger widespread blast compared to the rest of them. So make sure you watch your distance. And then once you do that, you're good.
Mission complete.
There's not much else to go on here, so enjoy the ending, and I will see you for the finale. When I come back next on Sonic Adventure, it'll be the finale. There we go. Sometimes it's difficult to get the words out, but we got them out. So see you then.